right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to a quick little video on variable expressions. Now, an expression is a expression of a math problem is when you use a operating factor, such as a math operation like division, mult, subtraction, or addition, with a variable, and you technically cannot answer until you know the value of that variable. Okay, so it's an expression. It's like the step before equaling. All right, if there's a way to put it in kind of an order, when you could equal something or figure out or solve it, you have all that information. When you have an expression, you might not have all that information yet. Now today we're going to look at this first word, variable. Okay, and we have touched on this a little bit before we broke back in March, back to virtual learning. But variable uses the root word vary, all right, V-A-R-Y, which means change. It can change, all right? And most of us are common with, or more familiar with this very, V-E-R-Y, like I'm very sorry, thank you very much, all right, like over the top, thanks, all right? This is just what that means. It's more than necessary, more than minimum. You have put in more than effort, or you put in more work, or you've put in more than enough money. If you donate, very generous of you. Okay, we're not going to use this word today. Very, and it has an A. It's a homophone. All right, they sound exactly the same, but it is just a different total meaning. All right, so it means to change. All right, and the most common thing you always think of is when you think of vary, think of right now what's going on, the weather. The weather varies day in and day out. All right, each and every day you wake up and you find out what the weather's going to be. Now, yes, we can make our best predictions of it, all that stuff, blah 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 blah. But to vary weather-wise means it changes. Sometimes we have, like yesterday, very hot, toasty day. Today could be a little bit cooler, clouds covered. All right. So to vary means to change. Your age varies. All right, from day in and day out, year after year, your age will vary. The length of your hair varies. All right. So vary means to change in different ways, formats, and we use it in all aspects of life. All right. So if I said something along the lines of how do we use it in an expression, or how do we use it in math, let's say you're working at a ticket booth, okay, and each ticket is $5. So each ticket is $5, and you're sitting there, and this is your new summer job, and a family of 4 comes up, and they want to buy 4 tickets. Okay, that's pretty simple. All right, family of 4, you're buying 5 tickets, you're going to get $20. All right, so you're going to charge that family $20. Now, here's the thing. Every family that comes to your ticket booth for these tickets is going to be a family of 4. Not at all. All right, those family sizes would vary. Maybe you're going to get a single person coming up saying, I just want 1 ticket. So what's constant is that ticket price does not change. We call this a constant. All right. So if that ticket price is $5 for every person who shows up, that is a constant that will not change. That is the exact opposite of variable. So our constant, or stays consistently or constantly the same, is $5. The variable is how many people will show up in a group. Maybe there's a family of 9. All right, it happens. Maybe there's just a family of 2, a mom and a son just wanted to come out and enjoy a day. Okay, that changes, that amount changes. So what we do to represent a variable in math is we use a lowercase alphabetic letter. You can pick whatever you want. Now, if I was doing this one, I would probably pick F for family. So you would have a expression of F times 5. Now, as I said earlier, can you solve F times 5? No, because you need to know what F is. So if I were to say F for family, f equals 3. Okay, then you just drop in that 3, and 3 times 5 is now 15. You would charge that family $15. All right, so this is a variable right here. That group of people that come up to your ticket booth, and once again, you could have picked P, you could have picked Q, S. All right, one letter we want to try to avoid is a lowercase l, because that kind of looks like a 1. All right, but X, Z, Y, and you've probably seen this before, Y times 2 or Y plus 3. All right, and I know we touched on it a little bit before we left for digital learning. Okay, so remember, a constant that never changes and a variable that changes, whether it's daily, whether it's by the second. All right, if you think about a line of people waiting for you at your ticket booth, I mean, that variable changes every time a new group comes up. All right, so to vary means to change. And once again, a lowercase alphabetic letter, you're trying to avoid lowercase l, sometimes x, because then you would have x with X right next to it. That would kind of confuse people. You know, just some people always use their first initial. Some people like me, if I'm thinking families, that's why I would use F. P for people. All right, groups. G. It's up to you. Okay. So let's move down today, because today you're going to write expressions. All right, and these are the 4 major math operations that we use on a daily basis. Obviously, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And we want to think of some trigger words that lead to these operations. So with addition, for example, if you hear that word sum, you probably know you're going to what? Add. Okay. We have heard words like plus, 2 words here, all together. Okay. So those are some common terms that lead to addition. So if I said the sum of a number and 4, okay, that would be the sum of a number 4 plus q. That sum of a number we don't know yet, we represent with a variable. Okay, now with addition, what's important is order does not matter. Same with multiplication, order doesn't matter. You can put numbers, and that's your commutative property of addition and multiplication. It does not matter. Put in any order, it works. Doesn't work with division, doesn't work with subtraction. Okay, so why don't we skip subtraction, go over to multiply. All right, the most common one you're going to hear is times, a multiple. All right, not many words lead to multiplication besides multiply and times. But again, if I have a number times 4, q times 4. Or once again, I could put that 4 times q, because once again, it doesn't matter, because order doesn't matter for these 2. Order does not matter for these 2. It does for subtraction and division, and we're going to look at that right now. So if I said subtraction, what do you hear when you think of subtraction? Minus, okay? This is a big one. A lot of people mess this one up. More than, all right? Everybody thinks this might slide into addition, all right? How many more years am I older than you? More than, all right? That's a tough one. Sometimes you hear more, you think, oh, addition. Nope, more than. Subtract, take away, all right? We hear that a lot. But subtraction is important. The thing that you always want to do with subtraction is write the variable first. Because remember, it matters in subtraction that the larger number comes first. We don't know if this number is going to be larger or smaller than the actual question, right? So if I have q minus 3, chances are the q is going to be bigger than 3. Now, once again, if it is not, then we can cross that bridge later. But a lot of people, mathematicians, assume that that variable is going to be larger than 3, because if I'm going to take away 3 from something, I should have at least 3 of it, right? If I'm going to take out money from my bank account, I'm not going to try to take more. Well, people do this all the time, but I'm not going to take more than I actually have. Okay, so a quick word to the wise, always try to throw that variable first, all right? And that actually goes in opposite for division, okay? So with divide, a couple key words, shared, all right? Um, um, Evenly, distributed evenly, all right? That can mean division, shared evenly, divide, obviously the word divide, all right? But with divide, we want to always put the larger the number first, then the variable. So if I have 15, I don't know, candy bars, and I'm dividing it between a group of people that I don't know the number yet, okay? That way I know I have to take that 15 and put it into smaller amounts. If I flip this around, now the group of people is being divided into 15, doesn't make sense, okay? So a couple key things, remember addition and multiply, order does not matter, right? You can flip these around any way, shape, or form. If you're doing subtraction, try to keep the variable first. And if you're doing division, try to put the variable second, okay? All right, good luck with today's IXL assignment, and we will be seeing each other soon. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it.